Now let us proceed. Before I continue, this video will contain spoilers.
What?
This video will contain spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Let's proceed, shall we? I want to talk about the Lumon company in this video.
Nice.
The finale, and then after finding out what their mission statement is, or what their dream or desire is, I couldn't care less.
Damn.
So I thought initially the idea of the chip was just to make someone forget or just block the memories between the 9 to 5, right? Of the person who has a chip. So the outie forgets what they're doing between 9 and 5, and the innie doesn't remember what's going on in regards to the outside world.
Does not compute.
But obviously now that I realize it's splitting the consciousness of a being, that's why I said in my previous video, whoever gets this procedure done, either they're broken or they're very brave.
Don't ask questions.
On paper, I don't even know how this concept or idea can be enticing to anyone or can make sense to anyone. Just by the way the show has depicted certain things, Lumon tends to go for people who are hurt, broken, or who have experienced trauma for good reason, based on the whole premise of the show, what they're planning to do with the show. So the scene where one of the characters who works for Lumon finally mentioned what Lumon want, Kier or whatever the whole team is working on to once and for all extinguish pain from humanity. Nobody asked you.
He ain't lying.
The fact that you have to put a chip inside someone's head to finagle with their brain, their consciousness, or their mind, or their dude, this thing is so layered, man. I'm seeing so many breakdowns or so many finale videos of I love this show, it's this, it's that. I wouldn't say I love the show.
What do you mean by that?
The show is okay. The show is cool. I don't mind the show, but towards the end of season 1, I made a mental note not to attach myself to the characters the way I do, or the way I tend to do when I'm watching movies or other shows that I really, really deeply love. I don't know how someone can convince me that Lumon is a good company or a kind company, or what they're working on is divine. It's righteous. It's beautiful. It's godly. Dude, every little time something good is happening for the company, I keep hearing praise Kier. I don't know what episode, what season as well, where Milchik was given a painting or a series of paintings depicting, I assume it's the founders, right? But instead of them being Caucasian, they were all brown, all melanated. And I think they resembled Milchik or Milchik's ancestors. I don't know, but it's the way my brain took it is like saying, here's Christianity, and you've been with us for a while. As a Christian company, you've been with us for a while, and the founders of this religion are all Caucasian. So we've done a special thing for you, Mr. Milchik, who's one of the brown workers in this company, and we've painted Jesus in brown skin. That's all I got, man. It was one of the most weirdest things I saw in this show. The company is taking itself so seriously, right, that it decided to give this brown team member a series of paintings of the founders, but they're brown instead of Caucasians. At that point, I was like, yep, this show and this company is taking themselves way, way too serious. Every 2-5 minutes, praise Kier, praise Kier. I'm like, yo,
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad.
the father of Haley R is creepy. And it's all this dialogue as well. The returning or the revolving. I'm like, you guys, nah. Then you got a baby goat, and you're about to slay the baby goat. Then the coloring, the special room to slay the baby goat, the special cabinet where the gun is, the special black dress the lady had to wear in the room. And then she asked the question, how many more, right?
What do you mean by that?
The fact she asked how many more means it's not the first time they've done that, and they've been doing this for quite a while. It's nah. This season, I was like, you know what? I hope this show kind of gets me on board with Lumon, just so I can understand or like Thanos, for example, for those of us who've seen the Avengers, just so I can sit down and go, you know what? Maybe Thanos was right.
What?
Or I can see why he would feel what he's doing is needed or proper or righteous or correct or whatever. They always say the best villain always thinks that they're not the villain or they don't feel like they're the villain. Cool. But at least with Thanos, you could be like, you know what? I see where he's coming from. Would I do the exact same thing? No, sir, Bob.
He ain't lying. That's right.
Especially if the concept of your tool or the weapon or the item you're wielding is called the Infinity Gauntlet. There's infinite possibilities to carry out. And the one Thanos chose would be the least on my list. In fact, it wouldn't be on my list because just because of the power that Gauntlet is wielding, and yes, I'm taking it literally, saying the Infinity Gauntlet, there's enough time and ample opportunity to conjure up far greater ideas to deal with the issue that Thanos posed. So at least with Thanos, you could be like, you know what, I get it. I personally would not do the same thing, but I get it. And that's how sometimes I use that kind of story to gauge how people think. Some people are, very quick to say, yeah, I'll do what Thanos did. And I feel sometimes when those people don't have enough time or room to visualize, sit down and see this problem and try to create multiple solutions for this problem without having to cause mass disorder, mass pain, mass trauma, and then justifying your actions. I feel sometimes if you come up in a particular environment, that route seems easier. It's like a no-brainer. If you feel that's a no-brainer what Thanos did, then there might be something off with the psychology a little bit, just a little bit, because there are far greater solutions, especially wielding a tool called the Infinity Gauntlet.
Damn, son.
It's in the name.
Yeah.
It's in the name. How about having a discussion with one of the grand entities of the cosmos, asking the entity's permission? Do you think that was arrogance and hubris on Thanos's decision? That's just arrogance and hubris. You had to wield stones with infinite power that you couldn't conjure up on your own. Granted, the ingenuity to think to yourself, I need a particular item or gadget or tool that is capable of wielding all these stones without destroying said tool. And I know just the right species or race or creatures or beings to build this gauntlet. But I give him kudos enough to think of an item that can wield all these powers without destroying or without the stones clashing against themselves as well, allowing the wielder to activate the stone at will, individually and collectively. And then I think to myself, okay, was Thanos the only being in the entire cosmos from across all the other different planets who had that idea? Like, is Thanos the unique being to be the one who be like, you know what? I think if I find a way to create an item that can wield all the powers of the Infinity Stones without clashing, without destroying said item, and then follow that idea by seeking out Eitree's people to build that gauntlet. Like, story-wise, is he the only one who's thought of it like that? Let's say everyone had the idea of wielding not the Infinity Gauntlet, the Infinity Stones, right? Do you think everyone thought the exact same way Thanos did? All I need to do is snap my fingers and then have the entire cosmos across into the cosmos and beyond, just half-life, and then so that there's enough for everyone to eat. Because that is one of the highest level of hubris. You presume that every planet in the entire cosmos is suffering from lack.
What?
Like, every planet is poor.
Don't ask questions.
One could argue he grew up with a lack of mindset, or poverty mindset. And that's what fed his whole upbringing all the way to that decision of wanting to get the stones, get the gauntlet, and then snap. Now, let's say he lived a more fruitful life, and his planet Titan didn't go through exactly what he said it went through, and he then ended up being gifted the gauntlet, for example. Do you think he would have made the exact same decision he made if his life was much different?
That boy is good.
The same Thanos but with a different upbringing and different life experience, he wouldn't have made that same decision the same way his other version did.
Get this man a shield.
So even though a lot of people would agree Thanos is right, I agree with Thanos. Yeah, that also tells me that your mindset is slightly similar, or you're not skilled enough to step back and observe said problem, and then on top of it, to then assume the problem you observed on Titan and all the other planets you visited granted and say universe is suffering from a lack of. That's impossible. Maybe a few thousand planets you visited, fine, but the whole infinite universe, all planets, even microscopic planets that your eyes can't see till you use a magnifying glass or something, or all infinite dimensions, multiple dimensions, the multiverse, every one of them are all suffering from lack of resources. So every planet is overpopulated. So that means the divine grand entities that even supersede the Infinity Stones can't solve that problem. And then the supreme being that created everything in existence is too blind to, stop it. I know that's a long-winded example, but I felt I needed to put that in there because I do not buy Lumon's reason for creating such a device that is already caused so much problems. And I don't care how long they've been in business. I don't care what other industries they're in, what other realms of business they're in. You want to cure the world of pain by creating trauma and pain.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being so dumb.
You lied to Scott, convinced him his wife is dead. How they did that, I don't even know.
Don't ask questions.
So I have to assume that they cloned his wife somehow, or they did the Mission Impossible print the mask or face on the mask thing and put on a different dead body. What? Mark and Gemma went to the clinic to do whatever they need to do in regards to their baby, or in regards to getting having a baby. They already had their clutches in them from day one, right there. So this is why I can't trust Lumon at all. And I don't care what anyone pitches to me. I don't care what narrative anyone gives me. If your mission statement is to cure or to rid the world of pain once and for all, it's his grand fight against pain, right?
Well, duh.
You're not doing a good job. So to eradicate the world of pain, Lumon starts out by creating pain. First step is to lie or kidnap Mark's wife, Gemma, convince Mark that his wife is dead, which then causes him pain, right? Only for them to then employ him. They cause him the pain by lying to him that his wife is dead. Then they get him involved to try and partake in whatever nefarious, long-winded, convoluted procedure of splitting the mind into multiple personalities. So you're convincing the viewers that what we're doing, for some people would say it looks bad, but some people it looks like it's a lot of work. It's a lot of cloak and dagger and hide this and hide that. But trust us, we're doing this for a bigger reason, for a great reason. We're trying to rid the world of pain by creating pain.